Welcome to Rasmussen Family Travels, Episode 3. And for this episode, we're going to talk about our LA trip, which took place directly after our Italy trip. When I say it took place directly after our Italy trip, we literally flew from Italy to LA. So this was pretty much part of our honeymoon. So this took place in 2023. This was the last couple days of July and the first couple days of August. Sam's mother and brother Preston were with us during our time in LA. Also, Sam served her mission in LA in American Sign Language. So on day one, we went around to a couple of different places where Sam actually lived at during her mission. So our first day there was actually Sunday. So after we got done touring around, we actually went to church at one of the deaf branches that Sam served at, and we got to see and meet a lot of the people that she served with. It was a very interesting experience for me because I had never been in a room filled with so many people communicating in American Sign Language before. There was always a member interpreting, so whether somebody was communicating in ASL or in English, everybody knew what they were saying. Overall, it was a great experience and the people were amazing. We also got some photos with a lot of the people there and some of the other people we visited while we were here in LA. After church, we went to Burger City for lunch. We then toured around Sam's mission a little more. We went to Redondo Beach Pier, and we went to Del Amo Mall. After all that exploring, we went to the Price's house for dinner. The Prices were some members that Sam served with during her mission. They were very nice, and the food they made was very delicious. After that, we went to go watch the sunset at Point Vicente's lighthouse. And that was the end of day one. We started day two with Randy's Donuts. After eating our donuts, we went to go see some of the more popular places around LA. So we went and saw Beverly Hills, we saw Rodeo Drive, and we saw Malibu. After driving around those places, we then went to the Santa Monica Pier, and we actually spent a little bit of time here and had some fun. We also went to Palisades Park and spent some time there. We then went to D'Amore's for lunch. We then went and spent a lot of time at Venice Beach. There, we bought matching Venice Beach t-shirts, and we also took photos in front of the Venice Beach sign. We also saw the outdoor gym that's on the beach, and we went over to the skate park and watched some people skating. We then went and ate dinner at Ensenada's, and that was the end of day two. Day three was really fun because we went to Universal Studios. The first area we went to was Super Nintendo World, which had just recently been opened up for the first time. So when we got to Super Nintendo World, we didn't realize that there was a big ride there. We were just kind of exploring the area, and we went to a couple different little lines where there was a fun little game to play at the end of each one. And with our wristbands that we had, these electric wristbands, it would like keep track of like coins that we collected and different things like that. But because we did all of that first and we didn't realize there was the big ride, when we realized that there was a big ride, the line was extremely long. So we ended up waiting in that line for a very, very long time. But it was fine, and we actually got some really cool photos while we were in line. So the ride in Super Nintendo World is Mario Kart, and it was so cool. So what was really cool about this ride is that it used augmented reality headsets, which is similar to virtual reality headsets, except you can still see through them and see everything. It just adds digital things onto what you really see. It's a very fun and chaotic ride where you're constantly throwing items, and it was super fun. Also, we took a bunch of other photos while we were in Super Nintendo World. After Super Nintendo World, we went and took a tram tour of Universal Studios. Something that is really cool about Universal Studios is that the studios where they record movies and TV shows is actually directly behind the amusement park. So on this tram tour, we got to see a lot of cool props. We got to see famous cars from different movies, and we got to see fake towns and cities that are in hundreds of different movies. Another really cool thing that happens during the tram tour is the tram will drive into this small building that's really dark, but is surrounded on the inside by screens. So not only are you surrounded by a short movie while you're in there, the tram actually physically rocks and moves to make it feel like you're in the movie. After the tram tour, we went to the Harry Potter area and we went through a couple of the different shops there and we went on the main ride there. The Harry Potter ride is actually one of my favorites in all of Universal Studios. And in the past, when I've been there, I would actually ride on that one multiple times. After that, we went to the Jurassic World area and we waited in line for that ride. The line for that ride was also extremely long and we waited there forever, but we still enjoyed that ride so much and it was worth it. After that, we didn't really do much more in Universal Studios, but we took some different photos here and there in different areas as we explored around. We then left and had dinner at Fat Sal's, and that was the end of day 3. So nothing of significance happened on day 4. It was pretty much just a lazy beach day. We had fun swimming and playing on the beach. We didn't get a lot of photos or videos from that day, but we got this one really good video where Sam tries to pull me down into the water and does not succeed. Day 5 was August 3rd, 2023, and it was the day that Sam had been waiting for her whole life. Sam was more excited about this day than our Italy trip or even our wedding day. It was the day that we went to Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert. Before the concert, we actually went to the Grammy Museum because they had temporarily converted an entire floor to be a Taylor Swift exhibit. It was pretty cool, and we got to see a lot of the most famous outfits that she has worn. So my favorite Taylor Swift album is Midnights because it's the one that actually made me realize that Taylor Swift's actually a really good artist. And Sam wanted our outfits to be based around the Reputation album. So we kind of ended up in this middle ground of an outfit that matched both Midnights and Reputation. When we got to the concert, we took some photos and we actually got to trade friendship bracelets with some people. And when the concert finally started, Sam and her mom were freaking out. When Taylor Swift finally appeared on stage, Sam was screaming and crying, and I think it was probably the happiest moment of her entire life. So I wouldn't say that I'm a full-on Swiftie. I would actually say that I just enjoy a good amount of the songs that Taylor Swift makes. Taylor Swift didn't just come out on stage and sing, she performed. The whole stage was actually a giant screen, so it reacted to different things and different parts of the show to really enhance the experience. Also, we all had these light up wristbands, so the entire crowd was lit up with these different lights, and those lights would change depending on specific moments of songs, and it was just amazing. Also, her stage would lift up in certain parts and lower down again. And there was even a part where the stage opened up in the center and she actually dove in like it was water. I don't even like concerts, but I loved this one. So about halfway through the concert, Taylor Swift sang the song Love Story. There is a certain part of the song near the end that talks about Romeo kneeling down and proposing to Juliet. So something that a lot of people do during Taylor Swift concerts is when they get to that part of the song, they will actually propose to their significant other. And even though Sam and I were already married, that actually did not stop me from proposing to her again. Sam said that she had always dreamed of being proposed to during that song at a Taylor Swift concert. So when I proposed to Sam for real before we got engaged, I actually proposed to her with a ring pop because she had always said that she wanted to be proposed to with a ring pop. And so not only did I do it then, but actually at the Taylor Swift concert, I also used a ring pop. Since then, I've actually proposed to her many different times with ring pops, and it's always just as fun and magical as the first time. We really enjoyed the concert and we took a lot of photos and videos. After the concert, we went back to the hotel and we went to bed. The next day, we drove to Utah and spent about a week or so with family before we headed back to Hawaii. And that is the end of our LA trip. Cholula, do you have anything to say?